Lord Tundering a vie from
Goodbye.
Newfoundland on today. Lord
You're
Tundering
not doing a
Jesus,
very
let me
good.
tell you.
You're
Yeah,
not.
no, I'm.
You're not doing him any justice.
Yeah, it's been a while since since I had to do a Newfoundland accent.
No doubt. You know, I bet you the only time you try and pull that off is when Ken and the family's down, right?
Yes. When I have Janet over, and then
That's it. Family members.
yes,
Well,
yes.
anybody. Welcome to the show, everybody, from YouTube, from Access TV, and of course from Access Radio. We have a great guest on our show today, a special guest to me because he's number one, he's Canadian. That excites me very much. He's got a song out there that is going worldwide right now, and I'm telling you, do not, misjudge this fellow because he's got more than this song going on. He's got an album that he's working on. Don't know how close he is to releasing that yet, but we're going to talk to Robert about that. And of course, we're going to talk to him about his worldwide album and how things are going and what's happening, where he's from. And ladies and gentlemen, hey, we might as well get on it, right?
Might as well
Here's
get on.
Mr. Rob. Well, that's it. Let's get doing it. Mr. Robert Hitchcock right here. How are you, sir, this morning?
Morning, Don. Good morning, Andrew. Doing fine, thank you. And see you guys are up and at 'em early this morning.
Buddy, this is early for me, considering I do the afternoon drive show. This is really early for me. But
Awesome
welcome
stuff.
to the show, man. I'm glad to have you here.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys having me here. It means a lot. I'm very honored, to tell you the truth. It's a very exciting time for me right now. You know, it just goes to the old adage says you're never too old to start over. So, hey. Yeah.
That's it, Robert. Like your song, Don't Drink My Beer When I'm Gone. Gone worldwide. How are you feeling about that? Little boy from Newfoundland all of a sudden is getting worldwide recognition.
Well, you know, it feels pretty awesome, actually. Like, I'm excited whenever my songs hit the airwaves at any capacity. But with the response that I'm getting with all the radio interviews I've been asked to do and that sort of thing, I don't think of myself anything special. It's just something that I love doing. And that song, for some reason, there's starting to grow legs. And I think I have you guys to thank for that as well, for promoting it for me. It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I play that song a lot because it's kind of a go-to song in COVID era. You know, don't drink my beer when I'm gone because I'm coming back. And over in Ireland, it's kind of a pub crawl thing. You know, like
Awesome.
people are singing it in the pubs when they can get in there.
Awesome.
And when it's closing time, that's the song they're playing. It's pretty cool. I'm thinking to myself,
Awesome.
how did this little boy from Newfoundland, and we'll talk about this Newfoundland feller right here, but how does a guy from you get all the way to Ireland and now is recognized, about a few thousand miles away? How does that make you feel and your family feel?
Well, it's a crazy business. Of course, the internet is, has changed the whole aspect of the way we do things in life now. And, it's only a push of a button and all of a sudden you're sitting in a little room in Clark's Beach, Newfoundland. And next thing you're in a little place in New Glasgow somewhere or wherever, like singing a song, and you're getting all these friend requests and, interviews. And it's mind blowing, actually. It's, I really appreciate it. And I just did the song in jest as fun. I said, well, what the heck? Let's just throw it out there and see what happens. The song came to me from a friend of mine that loved his beer so much. So he made a comment when we were sitting around, and I start thinking that's funny. But anyway, I just
it's amazing me that where are you from again?
Well, I'm from a community called Grand Bank, Newfoundland, but I've been living in a little community called Clark's Beach, Newfoundland now for the past 35 years. And, there's a population of about 800 people here.
So, small town. Everybody knows Robert.
Pretty much.
Yeah. How is the town reacting to your success?
A lot of my friends, are, congratulating me and that sort of thing. But whenever I go anywhere right now, all I can hear is guys driving by and singing in the car, "Don't drink my beer." Yeah. Anyway, but no, I've had some, even last week I was staying in a hotel. I was out on a business trip and there were these guys singing across the parking lot. This is what they were singing out. And these were friends of mine I haven't seen in years, of course. Didn't know they were there. But yeah, it's that, it's great, man. I love it.
Now, are you going to do a follow-up song with Don't Drink My Screech?
Don't drink my Yeah. But there's food for thought in that one there.
Hey, there ain't nothing better than for those of you that don't know what he's talking about, there is nothing better Yeah, the Newfie screech. I've had it in the past myself.
Yes.
I will not lie.
Yeah.
It's something that it's was brought to me by family, and man, there's nothing better than Newfie screech in a fishing hut at 30 below.
Yeah, well,
I'm telling you.
you have to get screeched in order to be an honorary Newfoundlander, right? So,
This is true.
yes.
This is true.
Is that true? That's really true, isn't it?
Yes, I've done a few of those screech ends. They're fun.
Yeah, it's not so fun when you go to stand up though.
No.
or the next day.
I just want to throw this out there as well. If you don't worry about covert, once you start drinking Newfie screech, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised somebody from Newfoundland hasn't sent that to Donald Trump down the way and say, "Here, use this; it'll clear."
Just inject this into your arm.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's a road I don't want to go down to today, gentlemen.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Why not though? What better way to start a day? Shot a Newfie screech and Robert Hiscock. Here we go.
There you go. Yeah. Fantastic.
Anyway, Robert, it's great to have you here. I want to talk to you a little bit about growing up in Newfoundland, and the reason I want to do that because of Newfoundland's kind of a hard-pressed place. As long as I can remember, Newfoundland, like as a kid, I'm from Northern Ontario,
Right.
and in Northern Ontario had its own struggles, but as a kid and as I'm growing up now, Newfoundland always seemed to be, poverty-stricken province. And what was it like growing up as a kid in Newfoundland?
Well, we're very resilient people here on the island. Sometimes we get a bad rap for, I guess, the way we live or the way we act. And but at the end of the day, I had a great childhood growing up. When it comes to, I didn't know. I didn't know I was poor. My father was a school teacher, and a very poor school teacher at that. We lived in a little 2-room house, 5 siblings, sleeping head to toe. Get up in the morning cold, ice on the windows and that sort of thing. But you know what? It's until I got older, I realized just how bad things were. But at the moment in time as a kid, it wasn't bad at all. It was life. I had great brothers and sisters, and I must say life was good. But we were very poor. Growing up, there's only the well-to-do people had vehicles and that sort of thing. And I never got a bicycle till I was about 14 years old, and that went on to someone else. And I think the tires on that were square instead of round. But anyway, but at the end of the day, I enjoyed it. I made some nice, good friends during school, and we'd spend our time in a little shack, 8x10, playing some music.
And that's it, and that's where your history is. Is the community you're from, or was it basically a fishing community?
Correct. Yeah, there was a very thriving fishing community, and something like 14, 15 fishing vessels. Sorry, that working around the clock. But unfortunately, those days are long gone.
Yeah, and that's a sad truth right
Yes.
now, with a lot of the international fishing getting involved.
Right.
How is the fishing industry right now in Newfoundland compared to it was, let's say, 10 years ago?
Well, it's pretty much the same as 10 years ago, Don. We had a moratorium come back in 1992, I think it was, when we weren't allowed to fish basically anymore. And, they sort of paid us to stay home for a while, I guess, if you will. And but before that, just before the times before that, 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, it was a great time. Because everyone was employed, money was no option and that sort of thing. But all of a sudden, it was just like the rug was pulled out under you, and we ended up in some hard times here. And unfortunately, families had to either leave Newfoundland, or the head of the household, if you will, had to leave, go away and work, come home, see their family, and go again. So, it hasn't been a rough life, but it has been an easy life as well for a lot of those peoples. Even when things were good, like fishing guys, they'd be gone for 10, 14 days, come home for 2 days, get their clothes clean, have a kid and go again, so it's
Yeah, you talked about, you get in this little shack and play music. How big a part of music was your childhood?
Well, as I said, my father was a school teacher, but he was also a very talented musician, and could read music and teach music and that sort of thing. But in regards to, Evan said that, my oldest brother was the guy that encouraged me and influenced me while I got involved in the music industry and that sort of thing. But so he showed me a bit of guitar. I learned a lot of guitar on my own, and I loved the country music. Loved it for some reason or other. It just hit me, and I just got into country music. But my first love, of course, was rock and roll, and got a few guys in the band like used to do Steppenwolf and Think That, Born to Be Wild and all that kind of stuff. But over the years, I got into the country music. So yeah, it's been a major part of my life. I was told, by store owners when I was younger, that when I was 4 or 5 years old, my father used to take me down to the local store and put me on the counter, and I would sing a song and dance, and they would give me a candy or two. So that's how.
So, it's always been a big part of your life. It's
Yes.
just natural for you. I catch your Facebook live shows, and you
Thank
might see me comment on there every once in a while.
I do so, Don. Thank you.
I truly enjoy your tradition.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure for me to watch your show on Facebook because of the songs you sing are the stuff my dad used to listen to when we were bebopping down northern Ontario somewhere, going on a deer hunt or going to cut the hay in the field or something. But it brings back tradition. How important is tradition to you when you're doing your music?
Well, tradition is very important. Like, you don't want to lose yourself in this crazy industry, because you can lose yourself real quick. But I just do what I know. I try not to step outside of that. I try to stay with that, and for me, it's very important. One thing about music that I find is you're driving along, and all of a sudden the song comes on the radio from the late '60s or early '70s, and I could pretty much tell you what I was doing and who I was doing it with. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Just as soon as it strikes, you go back in time for 2 minutes. So, and I don't want to lose that. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert. I'm good at interrupting.
No, that's sorry. My apologies. My apologies. But no, I just don't want to lose that, and I don't think it'd be a shame that if you did lose that, you lost part of your heritage. So.
Yeah, how do you find the response of that? You singing traditional country music. I know you still perform out at the pubs and stuff like that.
Yes.
When you started in with Sensual Woman and stuff like that, how are you feeling? How does the crowd react to that kind of stuff?
Don, I've been very fortunate over the years. I've had a great following. Never had any major issues. And the people that come out, they know what I'm playing, so it's not like a surprise to them. And I will every now and then throw in a scatter hot country tune today, if you will, and knocking boots and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, 95% of my music is traditional country and rock and roll. I play a lot of rock and roll. I love rock and roll.
Yeah, who doesn't? They like a good classic rock tune. Sauerkraut's our rock guy around here. He flip flops back from. He's an engineer everywhere, but he does a show on our rock channel, and he's pretty popular over there. But he's kind of a twit over there. But
I'm kind of a twit everywhere. I'm not just over there, but.
Hey, Robert,
we all have our twit moments.
Yeah.
I gotta take a little 2 and 2 here for the public and our advertisers. And we'll be right back here with Robert Hiscock. And we're going to talk more about his album coming up, brand new released album. Is it done yet, Robert?
99%.
99% done. So we're going to be talking about that. He's also on a new album. He's been on 4 worldwide country albums. We'll be talking with Robert a little bit about that right after this. Okay, you're clear from the radio, Robert, but we're still on TV.
Still live on TV, so no pressure or anything. We'll just try to keep the cussing down as minimal as possible. But yeah.
Well, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here anyway.
My grandfather, or my step grandfather, anyways, he's from the Newfoundland, so your accent is identical. Okay. Now, as a child, I didn't understand a damn word he said, but I can understand everything you're saying now. So,
well, that's great. That's great. Because sometimes I don't understand myself. So.
Actually, Robert, Sauerkraut is my nephew, and
yeah. Are you serious, or now you're serious?
Right? Yeah, that's okay. my brother is married to a Newfie girl,
Oh,
and yeah, they all moved up to Elliott Lake there from Ontario, from Newfoundland. There's the whole crowd of the Youngs are there in Elliott Lake. So
where parts of Newfoundland, Don? You know?
you know what? I don't really remember the name, but probably in around the Grand Banks area, like where you're from, like because
Okay.
they're all fishermen too, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It was so them live twos and screech and all that. We've been there, done that.
There you go. Awesome stuff.
My
Awesome.
my
The only
grandfather
problem. Go ahead. Go ahead,
he used
Sal.
to say, "Come on in." Like if I'd bring a girl over or something, "Come on in, take your top off. We'll talk a little bit and we'll have a little drink there." And my girlfriend didn't understand that "take your top off" meant take your hat off, but
Yeah.
that was an awkward dinner moment. But no.
No, we have a lot of those awkward moments
Yeah.
when we decide
Yeah.
like, to speak our true native tongue. Sure.
Yeah.
Especially when the screech is flying.
Exactly.
Well, the accent gets a little bit worse as that screech starts
No
going.
kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. I'm trying my best here this morning, guys, so bear with me.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
you're doing great here, man. It's easy when you're so easy to talk to. So
Yeah, if
Well, I
we have
appreciate
to,
this
we'll
opportunity,
we'll
you know.
put subtitles underneath.
There you go. That works.
8 seconds here, guys.
All right. We'll just
2,
wait that 8 seconds.
1. Well, there you go. A little bit of that taken care of. Welcome back to the show. We're in conversation with Don Pierce, Sauerkraut, and the one, the only Mr. Robert Hiscock. Robert, glad to have you here, man. It's I was just excited to have you here, to be able to talk to you about this song. It's gone worldwide, and it amazes me how you're so humble about it.
Well, it's my pleasure, Don. I really appreciate you having me here. That's, it means a lot to me as well to get my music out there, and you guys are doing a fantastic job promoting my songs. Greatly appreciate it. But yeah, no, again, I just like doing this, and there's other people that like it as well. It's fantastic. I'm like I said, I'm long in the tooth now, and I'm not expecting anything out of this. Just, if there's one or two more people that buy my music and like it, and then I've had lots of compliments on my site saying, like, my spouse passed away a while back. They love that song. You did a great job, and I really appreciate it. You made my night. That's where it's at.
Yeah, and it's what it's about. And the reason this is why we do this is promoting Canadian country music is a passion of mine. And as you know, you've listened to my show in the past, that it's actually written in my contract that I can play independent artists. And management here, and Sauerkraut could vouch for that, has taken notice that, hey, there's a lot of great artists out there that need to be heard, that should be heard, that doesn't get heard. How hard is it for a kid from Newfoundland to get his music out there with the big corporate bubble?
Well, it's very hard actually. It's it's a uphill battle. It's it's not something that happens overnight. Like, I've been doing this for a long time. I played the pictures on the walls in the nightclub and that sort of thing. And I've been out 3 o'clock in the morning driving home, getting home 5 in the morning. I'm after hitting a moose or two, beating up my vehicle. So I put a lot of time into this. So out of the fact that not only just doing what I do, but you're trying to let someone know, like, this just didn't happen overnight. But for some reason or other, I guess when it comes down to music and that sort of thing, and it depends on what side of the fence you're on, and if you're wearing, and I want to say this in a nice way, but whether you're wearing a size 28 pants or 48, it makes a big difference today when it comes to selling music.
Yeah, actually, like the gentleman from Blues Traveler, same thing, right? He, in his music videos, he used to hire other people to stand in for him because the same reason, he was a little bit heavier set, and he felt that people would judge him based on, well, maybe not necessarily him, but the music industry felt that he would be judged based on his size instead of his music, which is very unfortunate. It doesn't matter your size or anything like that. I've lost a lot of weight recently.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and myself, I was a little bit embarrassed before to go on camera. Now I have no problem, but that we get self-conscious about stuff like that for no reason. It's just back in the the 50s and 60s, we would have been, the broader the person, the better, the harder the worker they were, type thing, right? So, and it's just so sad that we've gone down that road to make everything so about, as Don said, the image, and worrying about stuff like that. What we should be focusing on is the music rather than anything else.
Well, that is so true. I concur with that. I agree with that 100%. But unfortunately, it's the society we live in. But for me, I'll just keep plugging along, doing my thing, and of course, I was never. Well, I used to play soccer for years, and I weighed about 60 pounds in high school. But
right.
Over the years, I found some food along the way, and I enjoyed that more than soccer. But,
you love to you live to eat, not eat to live, right?
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it's you know that going in. I know that going into this game. Now, for me, it's all about the music for me. And also I made so many friends since I've been doing this, and it's unreal. There's rarely a place in Newfoundland that I can go now that their doors aren't open to me. That people have been kind and invite me in and that sort of thing. I met some great people during the past 2 years with this online thing. Sharon Marie White, this awesome lady. I'm so lucky to be in her presence and conversation.
Yeah, she's a great artist.
Oh, fantastic. I'm really honored.
Yeah, she was just on the show. She was.
Yes, I saw that. I watched it.
Fantastic. Yes. Well, let's talk about Sharon for a minute.
Sure.
When Sharon was on the show, she was talking about a duet coming up with you and her. How's that going?
Well, right now I've just had the music. The tracks are all done. I forwarded it off to Sharon, and she's been playing around with it. Of course, Sharon's got a busy schedule right now, and she won't be back in her hometown, I don't think, sometime in November. So, but
she's a busy girl, man. She's busy.
Very much so. So I think maybe by late November we should have that duet out, which I'm so excited.
She's part of our Spooktacular, as you are.
Yes.
Coming up on October 31st.
Awesome.
Once again, thank you for being a part of that and bringing.
Well, thank you for asking me. I'm honored.
Oh, to bring great country music to the world is part of our goal here, and to be able to get in here and talk to guys like you, and so people connect is a little bit of my goal, and I'm truly believe in needing to connect with your fans, and my point is all this is when you're on Facebook, you actually are communicating with your fans, talking to them and stuff like that. How important is that to you? This whole social media stuff, like you say, you're long in the tooth. I'm a little bit long in the tooth, and this whole social media thing. I got it up here on my screen here. I got the radio station, the TV station, looking at people's comments. But at first, it really intimidated me. How are you with this whole social media thing?
Well, I'm fine with it now. It was first of all, it's like anything when you start it new, you don't know exactly what you're doing there, and you got to realize that you are alive. So, try to watch what you say and you do what you do and that sort of thing. But I'm very content with social media. I'll be honest with you. Right now, I'm like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But most of the time, I'm pretty good. So I'm very.
Oh, the Newfoundland
analogies. I enjoy it, and there's just people I meet. Sorry.
Sorry. You just actually your internet cut out for a second. I was just going to say the Newfie analogies are the best analogies. I always love when people bring up those analogies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's I was very excited for this interview and that, but I got to be honest with you. I just want to do my family and my friends proud and just project the right image out there. I am who I am. I'm most of the time I'm the life of the party wherever I go. I don't take life too serious, only if there's something going on in my family but at the end of the day, you just got to be yourself, not try to be someone else. And if people accept me for that, great. If they don't
Let's talk about your family for a minute.
Okay.
You got kids?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Yeah. How many kids you got?
Well, I've got 2 boys and 2 girls.
That's a small family.
Yeah,
that's like me. I got 2 boys, 2 girls. What are you talking about?
That's what I got too. Is 2 boys, 2 girls. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but I mean,
we know what Robert does when he gets home. But like how are they taking all this? The kids.
Well, they're all adults right now, of course. I mean, the youngest guy's 38 or something like that. So, but no, they're happy for me, and whenever they send me a comment or whatever, that's great, Dad. And that kind of fills me up, to be honest with you. Because I've been very fortunate with kids, and they've been very, good. They haven't caused me any issues. So when they appreciate, the old man, as we say down here, that means a lot. So yeah, grandchildren. I got 5 grandchildren who I love more than life. So
yeah, them grandchildren. I got 7. They take up a lot of my time now.
Well, let me tell you, if I knew it, I would have my grandchildren first, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Excuse me. Yeah, that's the best thing, because when they get all that rambunctious stuff, I can send them home.
Hey, you got the best of both worlds there. You're like, we look like heroes, and we send them home to mom and dad. So, yeah.
So what is life like for Robert besides music? What do you do besides music? Like, how do you make the moolah to support this? What was your past?
Well, Reader's Digest version.
That's the best damn version there is, Robert.
Yeah. So I don't want to fill you up here with the encyclopedia or anything, but well, real quick, I was a district sales manager for a national chip company for 11 years. And then, believe it or not, I went to work for a cosmetic company for 15 years, which I truly enjoyed. And I always make a joke that when I lost my hair, I lost my job, but that's the truth.
You notice that, I'm missing the hat this morning.
Yeah, you guys both have the same haircut. It's pretty convenient, I bet.
But they told me when I was a kid. Sorry, they said when I was a kid I was going to have a bright future, but I didn't notice it.
I just said screw it. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to hide it no more.
Nope. Hey.
It's out there now that what's going on in my life, and I'm just not going to hide it anymore. So the hell with it. I hate, I love wearing hats, but you know what? It's hard with these headphones and everything on in the studio, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I said to the wife, I said, you know what? The hell with it. Yeah. You know what? Everybody knows, and so what the hell am I hiding it for?
That's right.
Screw it. So here I be, world.
Yeah. Take me as I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Sorry, Don. Just carry on.
A makeup company.
Yep. Exactly. I worked for L'Oreal Cosmetics for 15 years. I applied for the job. It didn't say cosmetic company when I applied for it. But anyway. So when I lost that, I was in the Arctic for almost 4 years running a store there, and then I came home, and I'm working with a great company right now. I sell vitamins to all the national companies around the world, all around Newfoundland. So,
well, great. I was on your Facebook, stuff like that, and trying to get some information for the show, and I seen some of the pictures from you in the Arctic and stuff like that.
Yes.
When I was way young, I was a camp attendant on a drill site, and man, that's a different world up there.
Whoa. It is indeed, and you don't realize till you get there. I mean, I guess I want to say this right. I guess it's sad to see the way the children are, and I guess the life they're living, they got lots of love. They're being well cared for by the parents, I guess, sort of thing. But at the same time, they have a lot of freedom. But yeah, it's not kind of unfair for the kids up there, I think.
I was up there, and I was in the villages and stuff like that, and I gotta say though, but hardship, yes, because of the environment and the fact that to get a gallon of milk up there, you just said you ran a store up there, what it costs.
Yeah.
In that family kind of struggle together, like it's.
Right.
I know the hardships are there, and we all talk about our native community. Afraid to talk about it, Robert. So,
right.
You don't have to be nice about it.
Well,
it's sad. It's freaking sad that our government is allowing it to happen.
One place I've done a lot of traveling in my few years, and the nicest people I have ever met in my life was up north. They are so kind. They're so heartwarming. They make you feel welcome. Really, really nice people. I mean, it's like We all got our bad apples, but in regards of kind, caring people, you swear they were millionaires because they would do anything for you, and I mean anything. Great people. So, unfortunately, I had to leave my wife and I went there together. We had to leave our family behind. They were growing up, but grandkids were on the go, and we found that really hard.
Yeah, I found that hard too, but I've been lucky enough through the pandemic. We've all come together, and my son out here to the small town where I am to just get away from it all. He had a business there, and he just packed up and left. He said,